Hey, it's Rob from Wheelworx Bike Shops. We are in our newest store today on the Long Mile Road in Dublin. It was the Eurocycle store previously. We took over the premises about 2 weeks ago now. We have been gradually filling it with bikes. There's lots more to come. We're going to reverse the store. It used to be baby store upstairs and bike store downstairs. We're going to put the bikes upstairs. Anyway, that's not what we're here to do today. We're here to unbox a pretty cool bike. Gravel bikes are pretty big at the moment and getting bigger. This is the latest model from Trek. It's the Checkmate, which is their racing gravel bike. And this is an SLR8, which is SRAM red. Actually, let's take out the sleeves first. SRAM red, and I'm not sure what wheels come on this one actually. I can't remember what we spec'd it with. But this is an extra small, so when we do get it built later on today, we'll stick it on the scales to see how light it comes in, because it should be pretty light with SRAM red, and I think we've got some nice wheels on it. Probably have RSLs or maybe carbon wheels. Yeah, we've RSLs. So this is going to be pretty light. Okay, get the box out of the way. It comes with a dark disc, a massive one. We won't be fitting that. Where shall I start? So this model, there's a few. This is a new model really in the range of the high-end SLRs in terms of spec. So normally there's an SLR6, which would be 105 or Rival. SLR7 would be Ultegra or SRAM Force. And SLR9 is SRAM Red or Shimano Dura-Ace. The number corresponds to the group set and the build. However, Trek have either bought stock or still had stock of the older previous SRAM Red group set and are building bikes in the kind of SLR8, which is a funny numbering because SLR8 used to be a mechanical group set. It used to be Shimano Dura-Ace, for the nerdy people out there who sort of follow those sort of details. Anyway, let me see. I need a formula. So I need to find my way around this workshop, so bear with me. So the Checkmate is Trek's racing gravel bike. The Checkpoint is the regular gravel bike, which would be aimed more for leisure riders, endurance, geometry, bike packing type stuff. The Checkmate is a racier geometry, lighter frame, doesn't have internal storage. The tyre clearance is different on the Checkmate and the Checkpoint. The maximum recommended tyre size on the Checkmate, the racing model, is 45mm, although on my one I'm running 50s, which clears the frame comfortably. However, if you decide to do that, you are in danger of damaging your frame, and if you do, you have invalidated your warranty by running a tyre bigger than recommended. I certainly wouldn't do it in the wet, because if you pick up a lot of mud in the wet, there's a chance you're going to damage the frame. Like most, if not all, gravel bikes now, certainly almost all gravel bikes, it's a one-by system, so one chainring on the front. SRAM Red comes with the power meter as standard. The power meter that SRAM use, it's their own power meter. SRAM bought a company called Quark a number of years ago. Quark were a very high-end power meter manufacturer, and SRAM's business model is to buy the companies that make the components of their group sets, whether it be power meters or chains or suspension forks for their mountain bike stuff, Wheels, they own Zip, and then integrate it into their group sets. The benefit with the integration of the power meter is that power meters were a very expensive option a number of years ago. However, with the scale that SRAM do them, because they fit them on a lot of their, pretty much all their group sets now, as standard original equipment with bike manufacturers like this, the prices come right down. So they're now almost standard equipment on mid to high end bikes. And if it doesn't come with it, they're a relatively cheap upgrade to add now compared to what they would have cost in the past. So again, following the trend that a lot of gravel bikes are following, it's sort of earthy tones, so it's like a cream and light brown, orange logos. The new paint schemes have small logos for Trek, or it's one of the new paint schemes they're doing. There's a splatter through the back half of the bike. The top half is gloss. The Checkmate has a top tube mounted if you want to run a little food bag on it. You've got multiple bottle positions. You can fit certainly on the bigger frames, you can fit the aero bottle, the Madone aero bottle. Your seat post binder bolt is behind a little flap, like a toilet lid, toilet seat cover. So it keeps the dirt out. A little magnetic catch on it to keep it closed so it doesn't rattle. You have an ISO-speed decoupler in it, so basically that means that the seat post is mounted on a bearing system to allow it flex, add some comfort at the back end of the bike. The wheel set is Bontrager Aeolus RSL 37V, so 37mm deep and V for volume, so it's the wider Aeolus RSL rim. What else do we need to know? It's the lightest gravel bike Trek have ever made. We had a medium large on the scales recently, and I think it came in at under 7.5 kilos. So I'll be very interested to see what this one comes in at. Of course, weight of bikes now is definitely affected by things like tire size. It's not just the fact that they've got disc brakes that makes them a bit heavier. Tire sizes and rims are getting wider, so both of those things are adding a little bit of weight, but they do make bikes faster. So it's not just about the extra grams that you're getting from either the brakes or the wider rims and tires. SRAM Red is wireless shifting. Your battery mounts in the rear derailleur down here. That's just a little cover to protect it in transport. So battery will just slot in, locks in place. Your battery for your power meter goes in here. And that's pretty much it, I think. You've got the new Trek integrated one-piece cockpit, which has it's the same cockpit that they use on the new Generation 8 Madone. It's narrower at the top of the hoods and flares at the bottom. It's a 3 centimeter flare, so 35 would be 38 or 39 would be 42. And when you're measuring handlebars, or when you're talking about measured width of handlebars, typically it's measured center to center, so center of the tops or center of the drops. We'll pop the saddle on. I'm not sure what saddle we spec with this bike. So it's also, we can show you what's in the box. So what comes in the box? Bar tape. That's Trek's new EcoTac bar tape. So it's a recycled material bar tape, and it's actually really good. I wasn't a fan of all of Trek's older bar tapes, but that one is really nice. You got your SRAM box, which has charge cable, charging cradle, and your battery. So they're all in there. We have a saddle, as you would expect, and this is an RSL, so it's the top of the range Aeolus saddle. So it's an Aeolus RSL, full carbon shell, carbon rails, really light, and the bolt, the back of the saddle here, you can bolt on a light mount so that your light will sit out behind, and you can still run a little saddlebag if you want. You have got various bits and pieces. We have sealant because we'll be running it, setting it up tubeless. We've also got things like reflectors, which we won't be running, but are a legal requirement in a lot of markets. That's the saddle clamp for mounting the saddle. That is, I don't know. That's the out front mount for your Garmin or Wahoo. It doesn't have the insert. It comes with two different ones, either a Wahoo or a Garmin one. So you've got two caps for the handlebars. One that you can fit with stackers to allow you to set your saddle, your stem height, and one that works without the stackers. So when you've gotten your stack height right on the front and you're no longer cutting the fork, you fit the fully covered in one. And that's pretty much it, I reckon. Okay, I'll do.